Hello, I'm Richard Voves, the Bald Explorer, and today I'm exploring the world of self-employment. I'm with my lovely son, Stanley. Hello, Stan.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, viewers. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. We're sitting on a bench in Southampton.
And if self-employment goes well, we'll be sleeping on this bench.
Yes, that's how much money we've made today. And we're right near to the water's edge here at Southampton because it's a port, big port.
City.
A city.
Big port city.
That's
Sorry.
right. We can't see that because of all these lovely Georgian and Victorian buildings which are surrounding us. And I've been down here to help Stanley move some office furniture into a new office that you've taken on in a rather interesting building. Tell us about the building.
So the building is 200 odd years old. So 1840 it was built in Southampton. And originally a hotel.
A hotel,
and then it very quickly, within the decade, passed to Royal Mail, who took it on. And you were saying they used it for offices and for sorting lots of packages that were picked up from the docks
on a special
just a stone's
ship.
throw away. Special.
I think on a
ship.
steamship, on a packet ship or something.
Yeah.
May have got that wrong, but I usually do. But anyway,
No, that's just from Wikipedia, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Blame them.
So I thought in this video today, because I was doing this, always an opportunity to get the camera out. Stanley is self-employed, I'm self-employed, and I just was interested to find out what it's like being self-employed in the 21st century. Because you're what, 28?
I'm how old am I?
20.
What year is it? 2020. So
Yeah.
I'm 29.
Oh, you're 29? Not
Yeah.
yet until in July.
No, I'm 30 in July.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, 20,
gosh.
2020.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. What was the question? You asked me
What's
about
it like being self-employed
Well,
in the 21st century?
The worst problem is the boss. He just doesn't.
That's your wife or your fiance?
Yeah, or me. I'm self-employed.
Yes.
My boss is terrible. Well, so yeah, I do web development, technology basically, and there's a lot of work out there for that, but it is still the actual day job of developing and typing programs is about 20% of what I do, because the rest of it is dealing with financials and invoices and finding work and offices and all that sort of stuff. It's
because you've worked from home. You bought your home over 18 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, I think we're coming up to 3 years at the end of this year, so 2.5 years.
And you've got a lovely son, which makes me a granddad. And
you've got a lovely grandson, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, I have a lovely grandson.
Very impressed with you.
And I have a lovely son at the same time.
Yeah, there it is.
And there's the sun just coming out. So it's difficult working at home, even though you had a spare room. It's difficult because you're never away from the home and you're always on call, aren't you?
when you work from home, you're always at work. I coined that this morning on the phone to a client. And it's just, especially as a couple turns into a family, which turns into a bigger family, there's just so much more going on that pulls you out of the work, and the work is more important because it's providing for more people. So
yes.
Whereas a few years ago, when I was just starting going self-employed, Patricia still had a job, and we didn't have a child, which meant less expenses and less distractions. It was much easier to work from the kitchen table. The current house, the last 2 years, I've had a home office, but now it's time that we just need to separate work and home, and especially if there's more babies coming. I don't know, but
are there more babies?
Well, there's no confirmation yet,
No,
but
you never know. How old is George?
George is 2 in March. So
of course George still has a nap in the day, and that's been a problem when you're on the phone talking to somebody and he's in the next room.
Oh yeah, when the work I do is most people. I'm normally working as part of a team, and most of the team is in an office in London, so I'm normally the odd one out.
Because you're working at home.
Exactly, I'm working from home 2 hours away from London, so there's a lot of meetings and calls.
Yeah.
And not only the kid can come in, or Patricia needs help, can takes focus away from the work or in a meeting, which is it's fine.
So moving to an office is a big challenge now, because it's a financial commitment.
Yeah.
On top of your mortgage and all the your normal bills.
Yeah, so 2 years of working from home sort of proved that we could afford some sort of office, but most offices are very expensive, and they come with receptionists and it's all serviced and
you're
everything.
paying for all of that.
And you're paying for all that. When really, as a one-man band, I just need to get out the house and prove that it's then worth it.
So it's going to be interesting to see how you get on with now having this going to work mentality or approach to work. But it's interesting because you work from your laptop a lot, and you went on holiday for a couple of weeks, didn't you, with the intention that you could take the family away, but you could still bury yourself in an apartment somewhere. Tell us how that went.
Yeah, so this was I think June last year. I've always had the dream of working from the laptop anywhere in the world. And so we thought we'd try it. We'd take a few weeks off, and essentially I would not tell the employer or the client. I did tell them.
You didn't need to tell them if
I'm
you were able to work.
I'm
and
already
connect.
remote, and I did actually forewarn them, but I told them I would be working, and we made sure we had Airbnbs and apartments that would have like a separate room or internet so that I could work. And it was overall a success. It was very much a learning experience in terms of...
Did it work for you?
50-50, I
Because
think.
you still had the family there and you still had those distractions, I suppose.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's unfair of me to... You could look at it both ways. You could say, oh, it's amazing, I can take the family and go and work in another country. And on the other hand, we went to Spain for 3 weeks. On the other hand, I'm sort of dumping Patricia and George in another country and saying I've got to go work, which is not so much fair on them.
I guess
really.
It all depends on how many hours you've got to put in, because if some people's work might be they only need to do a couple of hours in the morning, a couple in the evening, and they've got the day, and then that sort of thing is going to work.
Yes, the original plan was over 3 weeks. The first week I'd work sort of full-time normal hours, which is 8 hours a day, and just maybe 4 hours in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, still being a bit more flexible. And the middle week would have off and actually have a holiday, and then I'd do the same the last week. The apartment we were in the middle was terrible, and there were like cockroaches and stuff coming out everywhere every night. I got bitten and had to have antibiotics and had to go to like a Spanish doctor.
That's an interesting thing, is you have that idea, this rose-tinted idea that you could be anywhere in the world and work, but of course anywhere in the world could bring you outside problems that you haven't anticipated, like cockroaches and diseases and things.
And I think individually, like personally, I'd be able to deal with all that and I'd be fine because I'm very sort of easygoing. But when you've got a family to look after as well,
there's other aspects,
and you're in a new country and all that sort of stuff, it's your priority is that. But then you've got this weird balancing act where you're not in a normal routine, and so you're trying to figure out how to sort of please everyone, both the client who had a deadline at the end of that month and the family. But it was a good experiment. I think it's totally possible. We just need to plan a little bit more, and I think having slightly older kids would be better.
So you have worked in employment where you've been employed, and you've worked for other people, of course. You went to university just to fill in some of the gaps. How long have you been self-employed?
Well, technically, I've been self-employed for about 8 or so years now. I was self-employed all through
okay.
But since having multiple clients, being just properly myself, I think 3 years.
3 years.
3 and a bit maybe.
I know for having worked self-employed for about 30 years myself, there's no way that I could go back and work for a boss and be part of a team. I know it's slightly different, but sort of team. I can do it on a day's basis, turn up as a freelance, but I could not do that now. And because in a way, you trained to think differently, work differently, work off the hoof, have an idea and go with it. How do you feel? Do you think you could, 3 years in, do you enjoy it? Would you rather be working for somebody else, or do you see yourself doing this for a long time?
For me, it's there's two sides of it for me. One side is sort of the day-to-day work of having the more flexibility and freedom. Being able to take a day off if you need it and not really have to report to anyone.
Yes.
Even your clients, you as long as at the end you're delivering,
Yes, because
they
your
really don't
work
mind.
is all about hitting a deadline.
Exactly.
And how you do that is I guess, up to you.
Yeah, and the other side of it for me is I really want to build something bigger than
Right.
myself and for myself. Whereas if you're employed, you're only ever really building something for another business.
And you
or
have
stuff.
the sort of official ladder that you can climb.
Yeah.
Whereas
I mean, there's benefits to that.
Yes, of course.
This established paycheck and
Holidays.
holidays and sick pay and maternity and all those
Yes.
sorts of things.
Yes.
That
you have to fend for all of that yourself.
yeah, you have to take that in consideration. But for me, that overall, and to be honest, it's working at the moment. And with a family, it's I'd probably be someone who would try as long as I could to stay with this freedom and self-employed or running my own business.
You're
But
not.
if push
I don't
came
think.
to shove,
Yeah.
as long as it was in web development and technology, there's a lot of sort of jumping and changing jobs every couple of years anyway.
Right.
So you don't tend to have a job for life, like in one place.
Contracts
So,
and things.
yeah.
For people you're working for.
So I'd probably I could go full time, but I'd miss so much of it.
Well, we don't have the time to explore every aspect of it, unfortunately, in my little videos.
This was a spur of the moment ad hoc video.
Yeah. No, but they know
As
that
they all are.
Yeah, they all are. So there we are. If you're self-employed and you want to add something to that, or just wish Stanley well, do leave a comment in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and well done, Stan. Congratulations to you for moving into your office. I hope
you very
that
much.
works very well. It's interesting because, just very quickly, I, at a similar age, took on an office separate from the house when Stanley was 4 years old, and the other kids were on their way. And it makes a big difference having that going to work feeling. Anyway, don't forget to follow, like, and
I can't work in my pajamas anymore
subscribe.
without looking weird on
No.
the bus. On the
I will
commute.
see you on another video. Until then, thank you, Stan.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.